Hey guys, so I just wanted to first and foremost say thank you so much for following me. If you're following me on Instagram, if you like my Facebook page, It's Fun to Get Fit, thank you so much as I welcome you along my journey to optimum health. So if you've been following me for a while, you've kind of been able to see my weight loss transformation, and some of you kind of only see what I look now based upon the pictures that I post for like Transformation Tuesday. But I just wanted to say I appreciate all of you who say that I inspire you and I motivate you to lose weight. I love you all, and thank you so much for just watching me and looking up to me as an inspiration. I really do thank you all so much, and I admire you. Originally, when I posted my first progress pic, that was not my intention. I didn't want to inspire anyone or motivate anyone. That wasn't the thought at the time. For me, it was just more so be able to hold myself accountable for losing the weight and reaching my goals. I knew that if I posted this picture on Instagram or Facebook, it was no way that I could not succeed, because then I would just look like a big failure. So I knew that I had to lose the weight if I posted this picture on Instagram. And so you may see me celebrate my weight loss, but don't necessarily know like my story or what brought me to this point. So I kind of wanted to talk to you guys today about that. So once upon a time, I was this little girl who was just smiling, dancing, and full of energy. As I got older, things began to change. As a young child, I was verbally abused, and that did a lot to my self-esteem. And so by the time I got to middle school, I was faced with a lot of health issues. I was pre-diabetic and obese, and as I look back now, I just kind of realized that I was overeating and not necessarily eating healthy foods. There was a lot of processed foods that I was eating, and so I'm pretty sure that contributed to my weight loss. And I was also unhappy with who I was myself, and I didn't love who I was, and it had a lot to do with the weight gain. And during that age, you bullies and issues with peer pressure, and I wasn't really bullied, but it was just the fact that I wasn't skinny or looked like the skinny girls. And so that played a big it was just very hurtful at the time to know, like, oh my gosh, I'm really, really overweight. I don't look like everyone else. And I stood out, and I didn't like it. And I just always remember being angry. I was so mad, and I was so angry. Like, I never smiled. I didn't want to smile. I didn't care to smile. And, I look back and I think about that now, because that was rough, because my mom used to take pictures of me all the time when I was a little girl, and I was always smiling, and I was always ready for a photo op. But I went through a period in my life where I did not want to take pictures. I didn't want to be in pictures because I didn't feel pretty enough to be in pictures. And so it was really, really, really rough. I think a lot of my frustration stemmed from like family issues and things that were going on at the time at home. And so it was just like I hated myself. I hated my surroundings. I hated my atmosphere. And it's just like I didn't really want to be where I was. There were so many times where I actually thought about killing myself, and just because I hated everything about my whole life. And I just didn't, at the end of the day, I just didn't feel pretty enough. And so when I got to high school, things started to change kind of for the better, because I had to walk to school. And so with me walking to school, I wound up losing a tremendous amount of weight, and I felt good about it. I started to feel good about myself, a little bit more confident about who I was. But at the end of the day, I still wasn't happy about myself, because to me, I was still fat. I was still overweight. I still needed to lose weight. And I kind of like compare myself to a lot of the girls that were in my class that was like skinnier than me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I had a body like her, or, whatever the case may be. And so I still wasn't happy with who I was. And like, I would look at the girls who were not too much bigger than me, so to speak, but they were kind of like, they were like thick, but they looked like they were skinny at the same time. And I was like, why do I look like that? I don't understand. And so I was just very frustrated, but I was also happy because I wasn't that girl who I was in middle school. I wasn't that fat girl. And so I was kind of excited about it, but it was still a rough time for me. I just remember that it got to a point where I actually starved myself because I wanted to lose the weight. And the thing is, I never set out to say, okay, intentionally, like, okay, Sierra, you're not going to eat because you want to lose weight. I think it was something that I did more so subconsciously. So it was like, okay, I'm just not going to eat lunch at school because you really want to be skinny. And so you're just going to starve yourself. And I didn't really think of it as negative at the time, because it was just like, okay, this is just something that I'm doing. Because when I would go home, I would eat. But it was just like, I starved myself during lunch. I did not eat at all, which is pretty stupid. But the things that we do when we're younger. So I did a good job of keeping the weight off Through high school, when I got to college, I kind of became friends with the freshman 15, and that kind of went a little crazy, but I feel like I didn't like gain too much weight until it was like my senior year. No, my sophomore. Well, I was only in college for 3 years, so I can't really go by like senior, junior, sophomore. So it was really my second year going into my third year when I was graduating, that I noticed like a tremendous amount of weight gain. And one, it was because I was taking birth control pills, which are evil. They're the devil. I hate them. They made me gain a lot of weight, and so that was one thing. And then I was stressing out about what am I doing with my life and what am I doing after graduation. And so I gained a lot of weight and was stressing out about that. Like my hair was falling out. And so when I graduated in 2009, and even the months prior to that, I just really hated myself. I was so angry with the way that I looked. Like I remember looking at my pictures that I took, like my cap and gown photos, just being mad and angry because I hated the way that I looked. Like my hair was short because it was falling out because I was stressing out. My face was fat. I hated everything about the way I looked. And so, when I got back to Baltimore, I moved into my own place, and my place had a gym. And so I started working out. I made a workout plan, because I had no choice at that time. I had went to go see my doctors, and she basically told me that I had issues with high blood pressure. And I kind of took it seriously when she told me, but then it was like I didn't really get that serious with it. I know she had recommended a book for me to read, and so I started reading the book. I had ordered it, started following the plan, and I actually started losing the weight. And I mean, I was really excited about it. And so I did really, really well. Lost a couple of pounds. I'm not sure how many pounds I lost because I wasn't even keeping track, really, honestly, about the weight that I was losing. I was just eating healthy, and I was successful with it. But then I met this guy, and he basically told me that, he was like, well, I like my women who are thicker, and I like big girls, and blah, 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 and I like you the way that you were. And because I'm seeking to please somebody else, I was just like, okay, well, I really like this guy, so I'm just going to stop working out because, he likes me this way. And I look back now, and I'm like, that was so stupid of me, and it really pisses me off because I was really on the brink of basically really getting healthy. Like, I had literally got down to a good size. And so I'm angry with myself for doing that. But you live and you learn. And so I had to move back home like months after that, and started gaining the weight back again. 2010 was also a crazy year for me because I was going through some other issues and some other things. I had just quit my job, started substitute teaching, and I was doing a lot. And so it was just a tough time for me financially. And so I was stressing, eating, emotionally eating, gained the weight back from when I had lost it prior to. And 2012, I wound up moving to Richmond, Virginia, and I started working out again. But it was very, sparingly. Like, I got a job at the Y, so I started going to the gym. I made these workout calendars that I put on my fridge. And I was kind of, motivated, but I didn't stick with it. And it wasn't until January of 2013, like, oh, this is my moment. My life changed forever. I knew that I was still having issues with my blood pressure because I had been seeing my doctor, frequently. And she basically told me, she was like, you need to get your weight under control. She was like, because I don't want to put you on this medication. And so I just had to sit down in a moment of reality with myself. And I said, look, I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to have a family, and I can't really do all of these things right now if my health is not at its best. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see my kids at the way that I'm going with my health. And so I sat down, I made a plan, and honestly, it was just like, really, you want your husband to be nice looking and have a nice fit body, but how can you want him to have those things if you don't have those things yourself? And so it was a big reality check, but I sat down and I made a plan, wrote my goals out, how many pounds that I wanted to lose. I wanted to lose 30 pounds. And so I had took before pictures. And in the time of all of this, I was up late one night and I saw this infomercial for hip hop ads. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get this program because it's really, really cheap. And I love to dance. And so I was like, it'll probably basically keep me motivated to basically lose the weight. And so after I started hip hop abs, every week I would do a weigh-in. I would measure myself, and I noticed that my pounds were going down. I was shedding more inches, and so it was just a very exciting and fun time for me. And that's when I decided to basically post my picture. And it was just an amazing feeling. Like, I just can't really describe it to you, because I felt, for once in my life, I felt like, wow, I'm really successful at something, because I set, every time, I failed a lot at weight loss. Like, I always failed. Like, I would try to lose weight, go to the gym, but then I would get unmotivated and I wouldn't go work out. And this was the only time in my life that I felt like I have stuck with it. And I'm still going. And so I just feel so amazing. At one point, like after I was doing hip hop abs, I realized that, other people were like joining on in the bandwagon, and I was like, this is awesome. Like, I'm getting my family involved, I'm getting friends involved, and I mean, I felt so good about myself. And when I realized that people were starting to actually go out and purchase hip hop abs, I was like, wait a minute, hold up. I found out about the Team Beachbody coaching opportunity, and I was like, well, if I'm already helping people lose weight and I'm already motivating people to lose weight, why don't I just get paid for it? And so the rest is history from there. I mean, joining Team Beachbody as a coach has been an amazing opportunity for me. I just never would have thought that I would have been able to inspire so many people and help so many people lose weight. Like, I sit back now and I just think about, like, wow, like God chose me for this, and it's just amazing and exciting. Like, so many people come to me asking me for tips and how do you do this, how do you do that, what should I do about this? And so it's amazing. I would have never guessed that my life would end up down this path and down this road, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I would not change my experiences because it brought me to where I am today. And so if you are struggling with your weight loss and you don't have anybody to help motivate you, I just want to let you know that I am there to help you. If you need the help, I am willing to help. I'm willing to coach you along the way. You just have to make that step. If you would like my help, I would love to help you. All you have to do is just email me. It's funtogetfit@gmail.com. It's ITSFUN, the number 2, get GET FIT @gmail.com. So that's my story. I want you guys to know that I love you very, very much. Thank you for so much for your encouraging words and for letting me know that I am an inspiration to you. I hope that I can continue to inspire you and motivate you to take control of your health and help other people along the way. Love you guys. Bye.
Shine. You were made for life. Even if you've lost your way, turn and you will hear love say, you were made for more, so much more.